Hi everyone and welcome back to the Startup Series. I'm your host Sophia Pomik, and today I wanted to talk about the mindset of an entrepreneur. I have recently been in many situations with people where we've been having discussions, but I've left those conversations feeling very, I don't know what the word is, maybe isolated, because people think very differently to me. And if you are someone out there that is going to parties or going to gatherings and you're also feeling like that when you walk away, just know that it's not it's not really about you being the same as everyone else. It's that you think differently. And I think that's something I wanted to touch on today because it's an anomaly. You'll go into different situations and you'll always be the anomaly, which is actually really exciting. Um, so let me start at the beginning. I have found myself over the past few months being in situations and being around people where my mindset just didn't align with theirs, whether it was friends who focused more on um, working to live, if that's the right way to say it, and going out, and their goal in life was boyfriends or girlfriends, if you will, and just along that kind of route where it was more social and buying a house and things like that. And I actually found myself in a really different mindset where I'm going to be honest with you, every time I achieved something, I wanted to move on to the next thing. And it for a while it was super isolating because it was like, oh, maybe I'm just the sort of person that's never happy. But that wasn't the case. It's just an entrepreneurial mindset. And I don't even know whether I can say that because I'm still trying to figure it out. But I've realized that I think differently. And if you are someone that continually wants to achieve and wants to be in a high performing situation, a high pressurized situation, then maybe we're quite similar. Maybe it's more of an entrepreneur thing where you just, as soon as you've achieved something, you're on to the next. And it's never, you're never comfortable. You're always uncomfortable, but that's a good feeling. Um, yeah, it's a really interesting one. I find myself moving even in my day job. I'm in a day job at the moment that's just severely boring. Like, we're not working towards anything, and you turn up the pressure and people don't want to adhere to it. And in my mind I'm thinking, why would you not want to be in such a high pressure environment? And then I realized that it's just what people don't want. It's not normal to think in this way. So something I'm learning at the moment is that channeling that into your startup. So I'm going to do that at the moment with mine. I'm in a really interesting situation where I'm in a day job. It's a contract role. My contract's coming to an end, but my startup's only just starting. So I'll generate revenue, but not enough for me to leave. So I still need to play the game for a while where you're still working full time. So it's how do I match my day job to my mindset? Because I can't be in a role that is just doing nothing. I need to be achieving there as well as achieving for my company. Super weird, I know, and most people would think, but you can just relax. And no, as soon as I relax, I'm bored, and then I go into my head and it becomes it's just not a nice place for me to live. Um, I want to be somewhere where I'm thriving, I'm under pressure and under stress, and I need to be moving forward. And it's really nice to come to that conclusion, but also for me to know that it's just a way of being. It's a very beautiful way of being as well. I find that in the gym as well, because I'm not getting it in my day job and there's no fulfillment there. I'm putting all of that energy into the gym and achieving something there, which is it's great. Obviously, it's great. Um, but with Endorse Me, with my startup, we can move forward. But I think it's, if you are the sort of person where you start feeling like, oh, I'm not fitting in my circle, or you're in a relationship and you think, actually, I'm ready to achieve more. It's just who you are. It's your mindset. It's not a bad thing. It's not, what has someone said to me before? They said nothing's ever good enough. It's not even slightly the case. It's just, I want to keep achieving. That's actually why I never bought a house, because I knew that I would be bored. Once I've bought it, that's not an achievement for me. It's like, what's next? What's next on the list? This is boring. So to kind of come to that revelation, if you are an entrepreneur, that, or you're not, and you don't know who you are yet, but this is the way that you're thinking, you might actually be very successful if you start your business and you run with it, because that is a very powerful mindset to just keep going. You know, you see it in athletes all the time. They'll achieve gold and they're like, okay, great, but what's next? You know, what's the next achievement? Where are we going? I love it. You know, I think Haaland is a really good example of that. A Man City player. Um, he's just scored 50, what was it, 50 goals in the Prem or just overall, and it's a massive achievement just in one season. And it's just okay, we're on to the next. He's a beast. I think athletes and entrepreneurs, you know, there's a similar mindset that you just keep going. It's so exciting. So I think if you're someone that's pretty similar to me, and actually it could cause you, if you're not careful, it could cause you some real mental health issues if you don't start seeing it as a positive, and you understand your ticks and your kind of goals around it, and where you fit as a person. You're a high achiever. I suggest reading that book by, I can't remember who it's by now. It's like High Performing People. I'll link it down. But I don't think be discouraged. I think if you are in this mindset, just remember that you might actually be on a really good path. If you have a lot of people telling you, oh, nothing's ever good enough for you, please don't take that seriously, because that's not the case whatsoever. What's actually the case is that you are someone that can achieve a lot in your life, and you're just not in the right environment. So what I would say to you is, if you've come to that realization now, have a look at what's around you and what you actually want, and what you want to be around and what you want to be achieving. Because I'm telling you, you're going to be an entrepreneur, but that means you're going to have multiple businesses. Once you've finished one, you'll move on to the next, and you'll just keep going, and it's really exciting. But don't limit yourself to being like everybody else, because you're not. What's special about you is that you're super unique, and you have this beautiful mindset that I think only a very small percent of the population has. And trust me, I'm trying to get used to it at the moment, but it's really tough. It's exciting, but it's isolating too if you're not in the right circles. So stay with it. Just a shorter one today, because I really wanted to talk about this. Just to give you some context, I'm in a situation now, like I was saying about my job. My contract's coming to an end, and I'm thinking, I'm like, I can't leave and start my company right now. We're not generating any revenue. Also, I don't have the luxury of parents supporting me. I live in an apartment, and if I don't have a day job, I lose this apartment. So there's a lot of high pressure going on right now. So it's tough, but it's exciting too. Feel free to reach out to me. You know, I'm always here if you want to have a chat about it as well. I'll put my details below. But stay positive. Remember that you are now in a very small elite group, which is very exciting. And just keep going. And this could actually be one of the best things that's ever happened to you, in my opinion anyway. But thank you so much. And remember to like and subscribe. And I will see you next week with my guest, Eve Lilly. I just recorded with her today, and she's amazing. Her advice for content creators is really incredible. It's very raw and transparent. So yes, stay tuned for that one. But thank you so much, and have a lovely day.